Hello everybody. Welcome back to Elite Outcome Academy, episode 10. I'm so excited. This is so cool. It's a milestone. And for that milestone, I want to complain. I want to complain about the world of self-help and therapy. I want to complain because there's not enough evidence-based programs out there. What do I mean by that? There's not enough full embodiment evidence-based programs that allow somebody to understand who they are, what we're made of, mind, body, so forth, to raise awareness, that self-awareness, situational awareness, environmental awareness, conscious awareness, subconscious awareness, to compartmentalize each parts of these components of who we are. And it's absolutely disturbing. It's disturbing how much talk therapy keeps people cyclical. Not necessarily sick, but cyclical. On this rotating wheel of coming back to figure things out. And the ethics that goes into being a therapist, which stops a lot of people that are going to therapy from hearing relatable stories from the therapist. Or a therapist being able to tell people, look, this is what you should do. But to ask questions and to listen, to try to elicit a response and drive people towards coming up with their own conclusions with a lack of information and education and data drives me nuts. So I set out on a journey to change that. And I created Elite Outcome Academy. And I took all of the world around who we are, what we're made of, how we're made of, our history, our present, our future projection, mindset and psychology and sociology, quantum physics, spirituality, religion, neurology, biology. I took it all and I created a program that allows people to really, really get elevated in who they are. I had to do it first for myself because I didn't understand why I was so out of control with self-sabotaging, escapist behavior. I didn't understand how to really overcome the PTSD I experienced from so many just terrible events, as well as bad programming. Bad, terrible programming. Because the information and data and experience that was available to me as a child growing into adolescence and then all the way into my 30s, the data that was missing was the bigger problem more than the traumas. Because had I had the data, I wouldn't have gone through life experiencing certain things because I would have had the perception to be able to know what to do and what not to do. And I think this is probably the biggest problem out of everything, is the missing data that therapists aren't talking about, that most coaches aren't talking about, that very few people, if anybody, is even talking about. And it's the information of just trying to discover why your identity is the way that it is based upon missing information from your parents, because your parents were stunted to a certain level of maturity and consciousness and the ability to go through life with a mental mind, with the mindset greater than a 15-year-old is few and far between. Even the therapists. And I'm setting out on a journey to change that. I still have struggles. Everybody does. I'm not immune to them. But therapy was not my answer for that. And this word that's been going around, rumination. Ruminating is keeping you stuck. You got to quit ruminating. I used rumination as a tool, spending hours and hours and hours and hours and days and days and days and years ruminating over cause and effect. Ruminating over how I got to where I am. Now, there's bits of it that we have to be careful about. Victimhood rumination is different than spending a lot of time diving into and developing hypothesis and perception over life. And so I'm upset by this. And to be able to complain about something, you have to be willing to put your foot in the race to make a difference in the thing that you're complaining about. Not to complain just to complain, but to have a complaint. I say this all the time. A complainer just wants to complain. Having a complaint looks for solutions. Okay? I had a complaint. And on here I'm complaining a little bit, but either way, episode 10. So, what do we do? What do we do about having a lack of data and a lack of information when going into therapy? And how can therapists become more equipped with more data and looking over somebody's life in a way that looks for missing information that could be the root cause of somebody's problem, rather than trying to find a resolution to events that have already occurred? When we can look at events that have already occurred and we can extract from them that they occurred due to the lack of data, a lack of appropriate behavior, a lack of just education, a lack of maturity. What is the missing piece? What I'm getting at here is we go through psychological rites of passage, and nobody's talking. Nobody. I haven't found anybody talking about this. We should go through certain psychological rites of passage in order to move through life and become a proper functioning adult. We have rites of passage in its standard form and explanation, which is an event takes place like a bar mitzvah or these types of things. But we don't have any rites of passage like this that designates somebody moving away from childhood and adolescence into adulthood. But more than that, we've got these psychological rites of passage that need to be wired into us neurologically. And if they're missing, then we have to go back and reconcile this. So I'm talking about going all the way back. Did you have a binky as a kid, and did that binky get taken away at the wrong time? Did your bottle get taken away at the wrong time? Did you lose something sentimental to you that was important that you never resolved. These are very, very deep layered neurological pathways that have to be examined. They have to be examined, and they have to be uninstalled or reinstalled, maybe just installed in general, by reconciling the data. Because there's so much of our behavior that we are experiencing due to all of this subconscious, less than conscious neurological memory, neurological behavior, neurological mechanisms that keep us moving towards safety and survival, which are great, but when we can become conscious and understand them at a greater level, then we can really do something with this world. We can really, really change things. So we got to do a deep dive. We got to do a better job at navigating people through what their problems are. We really do. There are not very many people, and I say this audaciously, not humbly, audaciously. There are not very many people that have been through the kind of life that I've been through, come out the other end with the ability to examine the hows, what's, whys, whens, psychologically, neurologically, biologically, sociologically, and to be able to not just get out of that to heal the damage done, with the ability to intellectually figure out how to fix it, what to do. And I'm on a path to do that. So if you're interested, there'll be a link below. I'm getting ready to upload it here. Actually, right underneath the camera here is the screen for my 5 Centers Framework workshop. It's going to be absolutely free. Just click the button. No email needed. No nothing. Just click the button and check out the workshop. I do offer coaching. I offer a whole array of curriculum. This one is the most important that I have ever created. This 5 Centers Framework workshop will raise your awareness to a degree that you've never known. You're going to become so aware of how things are happening, what's happening, when they're happening, and so forth. And you're going to be able to redesign your life because of it. You're going to be able to unwire old neurological behaviors. You're going to be able to become conscious over subconscious happenings. You're going to be able to really start making change in your life. And I'm not saying it's a cure-all, because I still have some old neurological memory that still creeps up and causes depression or anxiety or these types of things. But I have every single reason to say with authority that this workshop changed my life. And I created it. I created it. And I had to. I was forced to. There was nothing that really gave me the ability to really do a deep dive and understand who I was, what was going on, how things were happening. And it's free to you guys. I don't really know where to go from here. Except that we need to change the world. We need to change the way we're teaching each other. We need to change generational impact in education. We need to change cyclical therapy sessions. I would rather have somebody come to me for help, me provide that help, and for that person to go on and live the rest of their lives. I don't want you to be a lifelong client of mine. I want you to get the help that you need. I don't think that therapy is bad, by the way, if you're still here. I think we just need a way to like put some horsepower behind it. Okay? And that's what I do. I help people put horsepower behind it. So take the 5 Centers Framework workshop. Just click the button. It'll take you right to it. And it'll start right away. Just right there on the page. No email necessary. No login. No nothing. And let's get started on fixing some things. With that being said, episode 10. Become elite and find somebody to be kind to today.